Olá novos e seminovos, velhos e semivelhos, eu sou o Erik Rizzatto e este é o canal Som do Cassete. Hoje você vai conferir a entrevista com NATHALIE AARTS, a vocalista do projeto The Soundlovers. Durante o bate-papo ela falou sobre a sua carreira, seus projetos futuros e também da época que ela era gerente da gravadora Do It Yourself. Antes de começar, não se esqueça de acionar a legenda que está logo aqui embaixo. E também não se esqueça de deixar seu like, se inscrever no canal e acionar as notificações.
Senta que lá vem a história.
O som do cassete.
Hey, Erik, is it winter, summer in Brazil?
In Brazil is winter, but it's not so cold.
What is the temperature there?
24, 25.
That's not winter.
Not. In Italy. What's the weather?
Really hot today.
Oh, it's good.
I was doing the garden. I had a face like this. I jumped in the water because I have a little pool here. I was so hot.
Yeah.
I needed to do my gardening, and everybody's working outside in the garden because we're making a new pergola. But I was doing the leaves and all those things, and it's really warm. I think 33, 34.
It's hot.
But it feels a lot warmer. It feels a lot warmer.
And Natalie, you start to work as a child. Study piano, study dance. How was your artistic base in Holland? You are from Breda or Breda?
Breda.
Breda.
It's the same city as Tiesto, Hardwell, Dunnick. Yeah, we have a lot of people coming from Breda. Eh?
Oh, Breda.
Yes.
There's a lot of...
It's a good city.
Yes. How was your base? How it all started? The love for music, love for dance, love for concerts?
I think it's difficult to say exactly when. I think that it's because my family already, my father, my mom is a good singer, but my father was always into music. We have very musical family. So my grandfather, the father of my mother, he had 3 bands. He would play we call it accordion, the fisarmonica, I don't know what it's named. But he would play in one jazz band and 2 different bands. And the family of my father also, they can all play the piano, they all sing the guitar, they all play the guitar, they all sing very well. So with all those family parties, we always have, like as a child, we have been singing all together, you know? I don't know exactly. I think that the dancing was because I was always doing gym, like gymnastic.
Yes.
But my teacher, who did gymnastic with me from 4 to 10 years, she says one day, I want to do jazz teaching. So I won't do gym anymore, but I will do a jazz teaching, like jazz ballet. And I was saying, well, why not? So I liked the idea, and that's what we did. And from that moment on, I've always been dancing, and decided to do my study and to become a teacher. So that's what happened. But the dancing was my first thing. So the singing was just a hobby.
Oh.
Yeah, it was only a hobby. From my 15th, I was in a band, The Fuse. But then all the other things was just a hobby. It was just coincidence, you know?
The Fuse was a rock band, a jazz band?
A rock band. We did, it's a cover band. And we had all things like Melissa Etheridge, Alana Miles at the time, right? So we did a lot of cover things like Dire Straits, everything, because we had 2 singers. It was me and a boy. So we could do many, many different things. But it was rock, really rock.
Really rock.
Yes.
There's no video, there's no concert that we can watch from
yeah, there is maybe one. I did find one of the Fuse, I think. I would have to send it to you. I don't know how to show you, but I don't know how it works. But there is something I know on YouTube I was actually dressed, I can see a picture. I was actually dressed like this.
Oh.
I don't know if you could see
So
that. Now,
gorgeous.
wait.
Gorgeous, yes. Perfect.
And this
Was
I
in
know
Breda?
that this was in Breda. And I know there's a movie somewhere, and I would have to look for the link and send it to you.
Yes, please.
That was like a long time ago. I'm like still trying to put my thing on the microphone, I remember, and then suddenly it was like a reunion. Yeah, the band's reunion in '94. I left Italy. I left Holland already for Italy. And in '94, they had this reunion, 10-year reunion. I went back to Holland and I was singing that song, and I know it's somewhere. It's somewhere. I have to send you the link. I will do that.
Send me. Have 6 years in the Fuse.
Yes, because I was 15 and I left Holland when I was 21.
What made you move to Italy?
Yeah, it's a long story, but I have always loved Italy because my parents took me to holiday on the Garda Lake. So we spent our holidays, I think, ever since I was 10 years old. We went to the Garda Lake in Italy. When I got a little bit older, I think I was 16, my parents, no, a little bit, maybe 17, my parents split up. And my father said, why don't we do some private lessons, Italian? Why don't we try to learn a bit of Italian with my sister? So we went to have private lessons, and we loved talking a little bit in Italian, studying in Italian. And I was working part-time for an American company. I did part-time teaching every afternoon and in the evening. And I had a part-time job in the morning for a company called Keystone, which is an American valve company, completely different. It's not in my biographies because I've done too many things. Anyway, this company, when I was about 19, I think, they asked me, are you interested in going to Lucca? So that's in Tuscany. Would you like to work there for a little while so you can study your Italian? I did. I loved it. I made a lot of new friends. I loved the food. But when I came back, there was a lot of problems also in Holland because my father had an operation on his back and they made a mistake and he was paralyzed and I had to take care of him. And it was all a sad situation. When he was getting a little bit better and he was able to walk, because he wasn't paralyzed, but that's what we thought. So when he started walking a little bit, he said, go your own way because you need to do something different. And that was when I got this offer because I had my school. I was still working at Keystone. I had my dancing school. I had this band. I was living by myself the last year. And that was when my best friend, she was in Milan. And she says, listen, Nat, why don't you come, instead of going back to Lucca, why don't you come to Milan? Because I know people, that was the La Bionda brothers.
One for you, one for me.
Yes.
Who are looking for somebody to maybe, you know, to do a lot of things together. I could also help them with he had a son that was only 3.5 years old. So he said, well, you can live with us and then, you know, you can take care of our son a few hours a day. You can come to me with me in the studio and we do some recording and some jingles and this and that. And that's how it all happened because then I didn't leave anymore. I never got back to Holland.
You never record nothing before meeting La Bionda brothers.
Exactly. My first real recording, like as a single, a vinyl, was the cover of Lisa Stansfield called Change.
Change.
If I could change the way I live my life today.
Yes.
Was released in Italy.
It was released in Italy in 90. I arrived in 91. Yeah, Christmas 91. So that was, whoa, I was like, because I went home for Christmas and I gave everybody a vinyl and they were all like, you recorded a song? And I was like, yes. It was wonderful. It was really incredible.
You lend your voice for a lot of projects.
Yeah. After that, I did, yes, many.
During the 90s, you always on the studio. The money was good too.
Yeah, because, well, they didn't pay very much, but I always had my jobs. So I would always work full time. But I had a lot of, this all happened actually at Logic Studios when I was working at the LeBionda Brothers, because there I was working after a year that I was there. They hired me in the recording studios to do some managing of the studios, the recording studios. So what happened there, it was that a lot of people in that area were all record companies, distribution centers, and they would all have to pass by me to make a transfer, a galvanica, we call that.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to come to me, make an appointment. I would send them to Marco, that was the man who would do the galvanica. He would do the transfer for the vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
And then people would go to the fabric, you know, to the plant to make sure that this vinyl was printed. But that was a job that we did in Logic Studio. So everybody came past me and they heard that I was singing. I came from Holland. I knew very well English. So everybody was always asking me, can you please correct my lyrics? Can you do this? Can you do that? And the first one who asked was actually Max Moroldo, who was working at the time for Disco Magic. He made his own label called Do It Yourself.
Yes.
Just as a label. And he made me record in 92, Happy Man, Are You Ready?
Yes.
So that was the second one with Max Moroldo.
Happy Man was released by Do It Yourself.
Yes.
Do It Yourself.
First only the label. First only a label. And in 96 it was a record label.
Yes, huge.
It was a real record company.
Yes.
When I started working there, yeah.
NATHALIE, Do It Yourself is the same thing?
Yes. So you had, one label was Do It Yourself. That was the first one. When he opened the record label, that was Do It Yourself. And we had many labels. We had actually sub-labels called Do It Yourself, Nightlight. We had a bit later, there was also Haker, because we managed to have a collaboration with BMG Records, and they gave us all the songs like Toni Braxton, all kinds of American artists that we would release on Haker Records, you know, mostly. So
how long do you work in Do It Yourself?
Well, as an employee from November 96 to July 99.
99.
I really had to quit because it was impossible for me as a Soundlovers singer, because, you know, I didn't want to give my face to the Soundlovers because I already did the Happy Man thing, and I started working after the recording of Are You Ready in 96. After that, I was asked, can you come and work with us? And I was working in a completely different environment with architects and this and that, in cost engineering, something completely different. But when Max was asking me, I already had done the singing of Happy Man, Are You Ready? And also the singing of Runaway, the Soundlovers. And I would say, wow, what a job. I don't know anything about contracts and agreements and licensing. And he says, don't worry, I'll teach you. So there wasn't much time to learn because we were only the two of us. So a lot of things happened. I started to work there. I had to take the contracts, the agreements that we had in Italian. I took them home, translated them in English. Had to study because then we had to go to Midem. And Midem was in Cannes, in France. That was this big musical meeting in February. So I didn't have much time to learn what it was all about. But I was going to this Midem exhibition with Gala, Freed from Desire, and everybody wanted that track. So everybody came to our stand, and everybody, well, there were rows of people. Everybody wanted to have that track, and I was having Regina. I've been writing for Regina after, but that was the Killing Me Softly track, I remember. 97.
Molela too. Molela with Originale, Musicale, Radicale was the same time, or not? Was released for Do It Yourself, not?
Well, I think Molela first had that thing with Nancy. It's a real world. I think that was about the same time, and then maybe Molela did so many things also after, but I don't know exactly what time that was.
Yes.
I had that thing with, I was dealing with the Soundlovers, but that was given to Polygram for the world. Why did we do that? Polydor is a label, sub-label of Polygram, because it was a bit difficult to handle. You know, I was working there and they wanted, I gave the project away, we gave the project away to a major for the world, except Italy. It wasn't my image in the first video, because I already gave my image to Happy Man. Are you ready?
You and
time.
German was not,
yes.
German was not on the first video.
This song for you before I run away.
No.
You enter, you show up in the second one.
Exactly, with Kim, who was the dancer of Runaway anyway. You know, this blonde guy, Kim Galina.
King Galina.
Galina is the image you can see in Runaway.
Yes.
You can see him in People. You can see him on the cover of Another Day, the third single, but it was only me singing. And after that, everybody was like, Germán was a bit more legalized, let's say, because he was not living, before, he wasn't officially living in Italy. And in '98, we decided to record Surrender. And then he had all his papers, and then actually because the people wanted to have the real singers.
Yes. And
which is it's normal, huh?
Yes, in Italy, in some main project is normal.
Oh.
And how was King Galina's death from the group? How did you and the producer receive this new? King Galina was on the group, or there's shows?
He was already out. He
Ah.
was already out for 1 year and a half, less. I was working in the office, and then we had Saverio Ariema, who is always working for Striscia la Notizia. He was the choreographer for a TV program, and he actually presented Kim Galina in the past to the record company, and he came in and he told me, and I was just it was just really bad, because he also had a baby that was only 5 months old.
Oh my God. So young, 26 years.
26.
And
yes.
Germán was on Soundlovers when he died. He passed
Well,
away.
a little bit before. So Germán, he came in '98. And a year and a half later, this happened to Kim. So that was really, really, really sad. I don't think Germano ever met, we call him Germano here. I don't think he ever met Kim. I'm not sure. I traveled a lot with Kim for 2.5 years, just all over the world. So it was really tough. It still is really tough, because I'm in contact with his daughter. You know, she never had the chance to be with him, because she was only 5 months old.
I was looking for some information, but I cannot find.
There was no internet yet. There was no social. There was not a lot of filming. Not a lot of video things. That all came later.
Yes.
Yeah.
Germano and you work together on studio or not? You record your voice and Germano come later?
In the beginning, I recorded mine and he recorded his, because we didn't even meet each other with Runaway. That was a long time after. Maybe even with people, because I was recording the album. I think many times we were just recording by ourselves. And then maybe after, I think that very often we would go together, but we had different things to do. I had to do a lot of recording. So I would usually go by myself, I think. And maybe with Abracadabra, I remember we were there together, but I'm not really sure. I'm not sure. I don't remember very well.
What was your job in Do It Yourself?
Licensing manager. That means I would be the person trying to find partners, because we were an independent label, so we were not a major.
International relationship was with you.
I would take care of calling all the record companies in, I remember in Brazil, we had Paradox Music.
Yes.
And there was another one, oh gosh.
Building Records, Spotlight Records.
Spotlights. But I think we had a general deal, especially in the beginning, that was with Paradox Music.
Paradox
So that means general deal is that everything automatically goes to Paradox Music.
Paradox Music helped us a lot to know Gala Regina CD was not released here. Soundlovers People album was not released here too.
Oh, I know.
Unfortunately. But a lot of music from Soundlovers came in collections.
Music compilations.
Yeah. And Walking
on the sun, take me there. I wanna hear your voice in the air.
Runaway, I think too.
I sing this song for you before I run away.
Living in Your Head was not released.
Look at me, I'm going away. Stop flying away.
But Living in Your Head was a huge success here, because a DJ put the song
on the radio
and CD, and was a huge success here. I looked for years and years, and finally I found Living in Your Head with your beautiful voice. I love this music. I love Walking, Surrender. There's no, you can hear all the discography from Soundlovers without jump one track, because everything was good. And who was behind the group? Molela was?
Well, the start was done by Robbie Santini, Roberto Santini. We call him Robbie Santini. He was actually the creator with Gianni Fontana. They made the song and they wrote the song of Runaway and the whole album. And it was asked to Molela and Phil J, working already with record company and with Gala, if they could do some remixing. So in the end, when everything was ready, they would all be together, four producers. So that is Robbie Santini, Gianni Fontana, Molela, and Phil J.
Working together.
And they would all decide, to what do we add, what do we take out. So let's say that from the first album, there's more participation of Molela and Phil J. The first one, I think, is much more the job of Robbie Santini and Gianni Fontana.
And you help with the chords, with the lyrics in the first album, and you have...
Well, they would do a lot of things themselves. I would do just adding, changing. To be honest, Robbie Santini is a really great lyric writer. He's incredible. Obviously, he is Italian, so very often he says, "Can you check this for me, please?" So it's always been really nice working with them, because they had really, I think, also very different. It wasn't so much disco dance. If you listen to Runaway and People, it was very sophisticated.
And
We became very much more like disco dance with Surrender.
yes,
On the
and
second album.
there's something different in the Soundlover. When you hear the radio in any place, you know it's Soundlover because the string, there's one string behind, and Germano voice and your voice too, is something unique, singular.
Yeah. They put a
Soundlovers.
Dutchie together with an Argentina. He has that very particular timbre, we call it, from Argentina. So
But for
they
me,
put a
Germano,
tall Dutchie with a small Argentinian guy. It's a crazy combination.
yes,
Yeah.
you're so tall.
I know.
You was a model in your childhood, in your
No, well, I
Yes.
did many things because we had friends of the family that they made like publicity, they did movies, they did little things. So I've always been a bit like participating to little jobs.
you.
And then when I was 15, I did this movie, but that was just because I did a selection of like 4,000 people, then 200, then 12, then 8, then 4. And then they kept me for this child's, it's a movie, but about divorce. So it wasn't really a happy movie. It was, but I was the only person probably that concentrating could like cry, acting, you know. So there is a scene in this movie that takes like about almost 10 minutes without interruption. So that's the part when I'm crying in the station and telling my friend why I'm there, and it was a good, very good experience.
Picking up the pieces.
Picking up the pieces. It's
Picking
like,
up the,
yeah, like
84.
children that are living with parents that don't talk to each other and things like that. And it was a bit of a sad thing. Yeah, 84.
84.
I was 14 when it was recorded, yes.
Yes. And you play some instrument. You still practice, you have already played in some records, in some lovers, something like that, piano. Do you play guitar too? Tell me more.
We have guitars everywhere. To be honest, I started piano when I was 9. And the guitar, I had my uncle teaching, who actually passed away in December. But he taught me when I was 15. I started when I was 15 playing the guitar. I didn't do very much anymore in the last years because you get you move, you get a child, and I had a lot of work. So there's not always a lot of time to be able to play and to study. But I did study music when I was in Italy. I went to the jazz school in Milan. Because I wanted to I've never studied. I never studied music like with my voice, and that's why I did this selection for the jazz school in Milan, and they took me again. I was selected, and I was working for Logic Studios when that happened. So I was like, oh my God, I did a selection, but I never expected them to take me. And I thought, oh shit, I have a full-time job. What do I do now? I have to go to school. What do I do? And so I quit my job, actually. I quit my job and I went to the jazz school.
2 years? How long?
It's actually 4 years, but
4
I couldn't do
years,
more
really?
than 2 because I needed a job. I needed to work. That's why I did all that singing right and left. They would always ask me, can you sing this? Can you sing that? It was always more people. They would pay me and I would always give them, we call that liberatorio. Una liberatoria, so that they could use my voice, but not my image. Because I was with my band, I had the Foggy Brains in Milan with my band. And after 10 years, there was another band called Nats Band. And there is a lot of Nats Band on YouTube. You can find a lot of things like Anouk or whatever you can find.
Nats Band was a jazz band?
It's always rock. soul, anything like Aretha Franklin, Tina Turner, Red Hot Chili Peppers, like whatever, Rolling Stones, but not. I actually I did the jazz school because I wanted to be educated. Because it's the basic of everything, but I am more a rocker, you know. I want to do the music I like, and that is Alanis Morissette. I added after, you know, all things, and I loved Skunk and Nancy. So everything that was a bit like female rock, I would do, yeah.
Yes. Which bands have influenced you during your career?
I think everything, because I think Madonna, when you know, when you're 14, 15, you listen to Duran Duran, you listen to Talking Heads, you listen to Wham, Michael Jackson, Madonna, everybody was, you know, an example. I loved the music of the 60s and the 70s also, a lot of the Sister Sledge, and also all those kinds of Motown, because I go really nuts for all Motown records. And so I have a really big library of music, because when I was a kid, I actually had we had a house on 3 floors, and in the attic, my parents made like a bar. And we had my, how do you call that? To play vinyls, right?
Vinyl player.
Yeah, a vinyl player. And when I started the age of 7, if I would have a birthday party, everybody knew that they would make me happy with, you know, with the value of like 6, we call that fiorini. That was to buy a little vinyl of 45 giri, 45 giri. That is, I don't know why, I've always wanted music. So at the time I would save money, I would make earrings. And with that money, I would always buy or a little vinyl or the big one, 33. And I would sit there in this record. My dad would bring me there. I would sit there and listen. Oh, the new album of Olivia Newton-John. Oh, the new album of this. The new album of that. I would sit there and listen. Oh my God, which one do I buy? Is it Imagination or is it this? I was 7, 8 years old, and I would spend my Saturday afternoons in that shop. You know?
Do you still have this collection?
I still have, of course, yes. And when there was the party, I would put the singles on, the little ones. I take one off, put one on. I remember the first one I bought was Funky Lips Inc. Funky Town. Won't you take me to Funky Town? Won't you take me to Funky Town?
Yeah.
That was my
the first one that
45. Yeah.
45.
I remember that.
Yes, I remember. And your own collection of your release, do you have DJ Tururu?
Don't wanna make you cry. Don't tell me, just friends. I know this is the end.
Happy Man?
I almost have everything. Because everybody that I worked with would always keep a copy for me.
And
I have almost everything. Yes, almost everything.
You have
It doesn't always say my name, but now, you know, we're now in 2020. I always ask people, can I put this on my website? Are you okay if I write that I sang that with, because DJ Tururu was with Carrie, and that was his fiancée at the time. So we know each other. We see each other in Spain. We write each other. But I did say, listen, can I write it that I was a singer? And he said, yes, of course, you were the singer. Yeah, but, you know, some things did happen that I gave my voice and somebody else is still doing shows. So you cannot, it's not correct now to come out and say, I sang the song. It's not okay. So I only wrote all the ones that I can say it was me.
There's one contract. There's one contract or liberazione. Liberatoria that talked to you, that blocked you to talk. I sing the song, and you cannot.
No, it usually says we are allowed to use the recording for all kinds of uses that we want. So you give the free permission that we can use your voice to do any kind of release that we want without using your name and your image.
Okay.
They don't really ask you to not talk about it, but you wouldn't do that. You don't do that.
You receive just one time when you record, and when the album sold, you'd not receive for
No payments.
copies.
No payments. Only a copy.
Only a copy.
Only a copy. So you write that you don't want any royalty statements. You don't get any money.
Stay with the record label and the producer.
But the different thing is now, there's always been something like neighboring rights. Neighboring rights. We call that diritti connessi. So there are special rights that do pay to people when your voice or your instrument or your performance is used in a recording or on the radio without, even if it's not official release like NATHALIE AARTS, but you have the proof that you have sung the song, you still have money. You get money from a different company that collects the neighboring rights.
Yes, and you write Regina's song Day by Day.
I wanna live all my life, day by day. I wanna live every day as my best.
Day by day, close the door, thank
Close
you.
the door too?
So, yeah, the album, just close the door and
Then I
open
open
your mind. Don't
I
tell
love
me
this song.
because you know what you'll find.
Just close the door and open your mind. Don't turn the key 'cause you know what you'll find.
Why don't you record? Why don't you release this song and Day by Day and others? There's other one that was a huge success too from other singer. Why don't you record it?
Nah, I do things because at
But-
that moment, or for Den Haro, or what people ask me, Sagire, or then I like writing. But that's okay, it's not my song. You know, the different thing is that we always have to remember, you can do a cover, but why would you do a cover? I mean, because the song is property of a record label, always. You know, you have publishing and record label. It's their property, it's not mine. I'm only the writer of the song.
But you still receive money.
As I receive from Day by Day, Close the Door, Thank You, there was many more, You and I, anyway, I get money out of the author rights, because
Yes.
I was the autore, yes. Oh, well, Francesco Marchetti and Max Moroldo, again, they made this song. I got the melody, so I get the song, I get a melody, I can change the melody, I can adapt the melody. Max Moroldo also said, I want to talk about this. So he said, can you do like, I would like to talk in this case, with Day by Day. He says, please, I would like to talk about this. Now, I translate, I make it a song, and I put it in a song. That's what I do.
Yes, and not even in demo version that you send to Regina, there's your voice is not there. Or do you occur before?
No, well, when the production is done, I sing it for her. So in this case, only with Day by Day and Close the Door, I would sing the song. So she has a demo.
Yes, demo version.
And she can learn the song. She has the lyrics, she knows what to do, and she knows what it's about. And then she studies the song, and then she goes into the studio and she records the song. Yeah.
Do you have this record?
No, I don't think so. I think I did that in the studio. And it was 97, so I don't have the recording. They send it to her, so probably she will have it. I never even thought about asking, you know, because it's Regina's song, it's not mine.
Yes. And do you used to work in the record label? And your collection in Italy from this this time that you used to work? Do you have a huge collection in your house now?
I have a huge club, also from Spain, because slowly DJ Tururu, for example, is from Spain. Di Martino. I had a lot of people were coming to the producers that I was working with. You know, all the production of Eurobeat.
Yes.
It's all done here with Delta, but it would all go out to Avix, to Toshiba. So a lot of tracks were sent. All the productions are coming. Well, some things are produced here, but a lot of productions are coming from Spain. They come to Italy. We record it here, and they take it to Spain. It's released in Spain. It's released in France or whatever. You know.
You never visit. You never came to Brazil.
No.
Oh my God.
It's so bad. There were agents, you know, but I don't have an exclusive right anymore with an agent. So it's obviously easier for a manager to sell his artists that are in exclusive with him. So the problem is a little bit, I am not with, I have many managers selling me, but not only one. I sell myself because I did a lot of booking management also for Gala in the past. You know, I had to do the promotion for the artists. So it's such a long time that I'm doing this that I can do my own management. But in a lot of cases, I have all those managers selling me. But, you know, going to Brazil, probably
someday
it's easier, like for the management that I know a lot of managers, but they have maybe Corona in exclusive, and they would first say, okay, I want Corona W, they're already there, you know. So I don't know why, but it's never been concluded. I was asked in the past. Then I had my my baby girl. She was too little, and when she was only 2 and 3 and 4, I was like, I can't go away for a week. It's impossible. I could do it now. I can do it now, but I couldn't do it in the past. So I did have to say no to Colombia. I remember once to Peru. We're gonna see what happens. Let's hope it's possible. I have Talisa, my friend. She's living in Panama, and she says maybe we can arrange now for, you know, that we come to South America. So let's hope so.
Talisa is living in Panama now?
Yeah. She's now in Italy, but she goes up and down. Italy, Panama.
You used to work with Gala.
I worked with Gala in the past. Gala did not do shows, but I had to do promotion with her. Yeah.
Do you help
I had to do my
in
own promotion as the Soundlovers, and she was Gala, and I did all the licensing of Gala in the world.
Yes.
Obviously, the first album especially come into my life. And everyone has inside, first single.
I love this records.
I love that one. I love that track.
I love.
It was really special. Yeah.
My dream is watch Gala sing it live. I never saw. Do you know if Gala sing Everyone Has Inside some TV concerts? TV.
I know she is now. There was a time that she didn't want to do the old songs, and then when we met at the party of the do-it-yourself party, 20 years. I said, well, you don't have any idea how many people would want to have you in their festivals, but then you have to sing Freed from Desire, Let a Boy Cry, Come Into My Life, you know. And she says, well, what would you suggest? And I said, well, listen, in Spain there's many people, you know. Everybody wants to do 90s projects with you. So now she's doing a lot of things.
And do you?
But I never heard Everyone Has Inside, so I don't know if that is a problem because she doesn't want to, she can't. I really don't know. I don't have any idea.
I love this music. In Brazil, Everyone Has Inside came later. Came in 1907. It was released in Italy in 95.
95, the first one, before Freed from Desire. Yeah.
Yes. How many languages do you speak?
Dutch, my language. German, English, a little bit of Spanish, Italian, and French, a little bit. So 6.
My God, you have to learn Portuguese too.
I know.
It's hard
Actually,
for you to learn a lot of things. You know, to play guitar, sing, play piano, speak 6 languages. Your head.
we are Dutch, you know. Holland is such a small country, and we are surrounded by Belgium, Luxembourg, Germany. We have the UK there. We have Denmark. You know, we are such a small country, and we learn. We don't have any synchronization on television, so you actually see all the programs in original language. So our fortune was that a lot of things maybe were in German or maybe in Italian, and then we have subtitles, but then you learn how to, you get acquaintance with this sound and with the, when I was 7, I could say this is Australian, this is American, and this is English. We can hear the difference.
It's easier for you to learn.
Yeah.
And
like people that talk Arabic, you know, Egypt, they speak any kind of language in 2 or 3 months.
Yes.
If they want to, because they have all kinds of sounds in their own language, and they can learn very easily.
Yes. And your baby, your daughter, she's a singer too, or just...
Listen, she actually was doing, she's not a singer, she can sing, she loves singing, she prefers dancing, hip-hop, but she actually was doing a little job for Talisa, because Talisa was doing a lot of productions for a kind of a TV channel, a kids and TV channel on YouTube. And they actually asked Tess to be the girl in this little cartoon. So she's been singing those songs in the COVID time, so that's really weird. But she's been recording this in April and May. And she did 4 songs in English, Spanish, and Italian. But the Spanish was a bit different than the Spanish we know, because we got the example from usually from Talisa, from Emanuela, or from somebody else, because South America Spanish is different than the Spanish we have in Europe. So that's why my daughter, when she had to do the ABC and things like huh? And so we had to really listen well, because it was also American and not English, you know. So, but she did a good job.
She's studying some instrument too, not? Do you support her?
She was doing the piano from when she was 7 years old. And now I think she wants to start to do guitar too. So we'll see.
And Soundlovers, do you have one song that, this is my song, I love this song means a lot for me? You have one you can choose?
I do think that every song has its timing, right? But maybe I didn't agree a lot on the video clips, because they were very macabro, we call that.
Macabro, the first one. I don't understand the first one.
I don't know.
And the Soundlovers, especially when Germano came up, is a funny
it was, yeah,
sounds.
From Surrender, it was, we have different sounds, because before it was more melancholic.
Yes.
I have to be honest, I think of the first album, I'm gonna have a look here. The first album was called People.
People.
Right? Yeah. It was very easy. A bit black. There was a cover of, remember Luca, Suzanne Vega.
Suzanne
My
Vega.
name is Luca, yeah. Maybe, I'm Sorry. Did you ever hear I'm Sorry from the album?
Yes, yes.
So I'm sorry for you.
Yes,
I'm
I know.
in the dark,
I was.
Sorry for you if you're in the dark. Don't wanna care, don't wanna cry. I'm sorry.
Listen, yesterday.
It's very easy, but I think of all songs, People is my favorite.
People won't let go.
And the abracadabra, leave it in your head,
They all
shake
came
your
later.
ass.
They all came later, but people maybe was because it was my first song of the Soundlovers that I officially did, because Runaway was sung by me, but not my image.
Yes.
So the second one, People, was my image.
Yes.
And from that moment on, it felt more like me. It felt more something of me.
Yes. And Germano, do you have contact? You still friends?
No, well, we were very much in the past. Then in the 2003, our contracts expired. So this became a complicated situation, because he actually very often was doing those vocals, right? And Molela and the people were like, oh, we need to do something else. We can't go on like this. And so they went on with me and not with him. That was not easy, I think, for him. It's not been a very easy decision, but I don't think he liked that very much. So after that moment, we didn't speak to each other very much anymore. And that was something that came back, maybe a few years after. And then there was another period, no, and then yes. So it was a bit difficult. But I said, why? Well, nobody says you cannot produce, you know? So he's doing a lot of his own things in Spanish.
Yes.
Because he can write really well. He's Argentina, so if he does it in his own language, it's easy for him to write. So he's been doing his own productions, and he loves singing and writing. So now we are in contact again since a few years, since about like 5 years, 6 years.
Who won this name?
I don't know. I think Roby Santini and Gianni Fontana.
And do you doing a lot of concerts? Last week you returned to work.
The first one with public. That was
Yes.
great. I had one before. I had one before going to Holland with Kim Lucas and Annelie.
Oh, was perfect.
It was a real show, but you know,
There's no
we
audience.
had only 10 people there. No, it's not too much. Eh?
Used to get it on, and then we go on. Used to get it on, and then we go on.
But that was really nice. That was really nice.
Kim
Now-
Lucas, for me, was your sister.
I know. Yeah, we became like sisters in the 90s. In the end of the 90s, we had so much laughings because everybody was like always saying, you're Kim Lucas. And I'm, no, I'm not. And to her, they were, Soundlovers. No, I'm Kim Lucas. So it was really fun. And then very often we were, you know, they would always think that we were sisters. And she's from London, I'm from Holland. So, but it was fun. And now, we became friends. And then we started producing in 2007 with the first song, Change the World. And then in 2011, we had that song, Breathe Again, made together with Luca Zeta and Graziano Pegoraro, who was the producer of T42, Tracy Spencer, Taffy. He did so many things.
Your last release was Boogie Baby. With
Boogie Baby, 5th single, yeah. The 3rd single was Sad Girl in 2013. 2015, we had All Right. That was the first one with Bang Record. That's the record label of DJ Ross. And then we had now 2020, so we waited 5 years. And now we had Boogie Baby, produced by Roby Santini of the Soundlovers. So that's really good. It's one big family.
We wanna boogie and move to the sound. Let's get together, people, all right. We wanna boogie and dance tonight.
since '94, you are in Italy.
91.
91. Do you
91.
feel more Italian?
Well, you never forget your roots.
Yes.
When I'm in Holland, I sometimes start talking to people and they are like, oh, I don't understand. I'm like, oh, sorry. I don't even realize, you know, I change language all day.
Do you
also
think
with my daughter, but
do you think
I dream and I think in Italian. When I go to Holland and I stay there for 2 weeks, I come back home, I start talking Dutch and everybody's like, oh, I don't understand. And I'm like, oh, sorry. So it's so automatic. I will never be 100% Italian, you know, because you always miss 21 years of the language. I never went to a real school in Italy.
Mhm.
I did my school in Holland, but then I leave and all those things that computer language, telephone language, it's not that I don't know Dutch anymore, but I just can hear when I was doing the website, they say, oh, you do your own translation in Dutch. And I was like, nah, that's not a good idea. Because I don't know if it's correct what I write. It doesn't really look like very professional.
Mhm.
Because I was 21 when I left, you know?
Yes, and in the beginning you say that your sister come to Italy with you.
My real sister in Holland, you mean?
Yes.
Nah, but she was 5 years older than me, 4 years and 3 months.
But she's still in Holland.
Yeah, she is in Holland. She stayed in Holland because when I left, she was 25, I think. And she was living together with somebody already, and she had a full-time job. Also with the same company, Keystone, when we were working for the American company, where she actually met her husband. So, and they are still together. We have, they have 2 big daughters, 26 and 24. They finished the Master of University a little while ago. And one of my nieces is coming tomorrow. Yeah.
And only you moved to Italy.
Yeah.
The rest of your
all
family.
by myself. There was no mobile phones yet. We didn't have any internet. We don't have WhatsApp. We didn't have MP3. We didn't have anything.
Yes.
It wasn't easy.
Do you was a backing vocal in the Right Say Fred? Do you do some concerts?
I'm too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for my shirt. So sexy it hurts.
Well, I was asked because when I was working at Logic Studios, we had a month and a half, Gianna Nannini, recording an album there. She would ask me if I could do some backing vocals, but then we found out that she was working always until very late, maybe 2, 3 o'clock at night, but I had to wake up in the morning and go back into the studio at 9. I started at 9 in the morning. So I said after 2 days, like, oh, whoa, for me, it's a bit complicated because I have to be in the office the whole day also. So I stopped that, but she was doing this album with Dischi Ricordi was the name. And they asked me to do Festival Bar with Gianna Nannini in 93. And the same company would call me when they knew me. Like, Right Said Fred is coming to Italy. We're going to Roxy Bar, do the television program. So we would like you to be there. And so we did. Me and my friend, we did that. It was fun, a lot of fun.
Perfect. I saw some video in YouTube.
23 I was, my gosh. So young.
And there's something new coming from Natalie King or the Soundlovers.
Well,
NATHALIE
we're
AARTS.
still promoting the Boogie Baby, of course. Last year we had the release of Back to the Feet with DJ Jump. So what is happening now is that we are already producing a new song for a second Back to the Feet album, which will be released in December, I think just before Christmas.
Back to the Feet is a project with you, W.
Well, no, the first one was with Erika, Neja, Pops of Pops and Scar, Haiducci. We had their Magic Box, Erika, DJ Ross, me, Jeffrey from Eiffel 65, Robbie Rossini, there was Lady Helen, and with DJ Maxwell. That was the first one. The second one will probably have W, I think Regina. The first one is out now, M. Violet, which is Melody Castellari, who was the voice of Lady Violet, obviously. So they have this song out now called Beautiful World. First one of the album, Back to the Feet.
Oh,
Two.
good. And the tour, Back to the Feet.
Yeah, we did that last year when I was the only one having 2 singles inside. So I had one with Jenny D, Thank You, and one with DJ Jump again called Crazy. And in 2018, we had, me and DJ Jump, we had Memories. That is not on the album because it was released in different countries in the world. So we couldn't put that on an album. But, well, we never stop. We don't sit there and just wait. So we keep on producing. Yes.
You're working a lot, girl. Do you still on the record label or do you working by yourself, independent?
No, yeah, well, I don't do anything for the label. But when I have the record coming in, the new single, I do have my own contact. So I do write a mail to my friends from different countries, different radio stations.
Do you create one label?
I promote.
Promote. Good.
I promote. No, I do a lot. I can do a lot of things. I like to do a lot of things, but I also keep a lot of time free for the family, the dog, my cats, my family in Holland. So I take my free time.
Where can I find more information about NATHALIE AARTS? Can hear your music, your social medias.
I think that that's very good for everybody because these months of isolation, because in Italy we were really locked in the houses, I did not really complain because I was tired. I didn't have a lot of time. You know, when you have a girl going to school, my partner goes to work at 5 in the morning, you don't have the chance to see each other very much. So we had another strange thing last summer. Here in August, we had a tornado. This tornado, I was in Australia when that happened, sent a roof to my house, the roof of a house of other people, that really destroyed my house. It took the whole winter for people to reconstruct the house. And so when we came at home, when we were at home, we went outside and we started painting and working and repairing, and I was very, very busy. And then after a little while, Boogie Baby was released. So I promoted, we did a lot of live streamings everywhere. But something else happened. I have friends in Hungary. They live in London. I met them last year at the Budapest Festival of, I don't remember I love 2000s. When I was there, I had a television interview, and that was in the hotel, and I helped them translating for DJ Jump, Haiducci, and other people. And he was also in the lockdown in Hungary, and he said, I was so bored, but I sent you a little present. Go and have a look. And that was a website. And I said, wow, that looks wonderful. It was only about the Soundlovers and things that he would find on the internet, and the things that he found on my Facebook and on the Instagram. And I said, whoa, I love it. And he said, well, if you want, we can develop the website. So we actually, that is what, it became the website of NATHALIE AARTS, yes, from the Soundlovers, but we have all videos. It's divided in Nat and Kim news. So it's divided in Eurobeat, in the Soundlovers, and various all live performances, not all, but a few, all kinds of TV programs. So I actually uploaded a lot of photos of me and Kim, Girls Party, which is with Neja. I uploaded all my live pictures, well, you name it, of the 90s, with people, with other artists. It's been fun. It's been hard working until 4 at night because I needed my silence, you know. We've been putting a lot of videos in there. So everybody who's interested, anybody who likes to see and hear, we made a website called www.nathaliea NATHALIEAARTS.net. The homepage already shows the whole discography, so you will discover a lot of songs.
Everything that you made, the fuse is not there. You can put...
The fuse we don't have, no. I didn't put the band in, I only put the recordings, the official recordings.
But your site is complete?
Well, Steve, the one of my website, did put all the things with my band in there, but I took them out. We can always put them back in, maybe, I don't know. It's a different, It can be done.
Yes, and you can find on Facebook, Instagram has 2 Facebook profiles, a fan page.
I'm trying to get rid of one profile to put it on to get it on one page and then get 2 pages together, but Facebook is probably sleeping because I've asked in October 2018 and I'm still waiting. So somebody is doing that for me. I just wanted to have one profile, NATHALIE AARTS, one page, and the Instagram.
Okay.
But it's not. And then we have the page NATHALIE AARTS and Kim Lucas. So
yes.
But I'm not very much there. As you see, when you have all those profiles, I have a private one. If I would have to, I do follow Instagram. If people write me on Instagram, I reply. I try to look every day. But I don't do Messenger because I have too many profiles. I keep the Messenger on my private one, so my family in Australia can write to me. So that's it.
Can you leave a message for your Brazilian fans?
Invite me, please. I want to come to Brazil. Now, let's hope that the first time they do a big event, a big festival of the 90s, I'd love to be there. We can do the Runaway, we do Surrender all together. I usually do the a cappella and I always say, I used to be, and then the people say, surrender. I used to be alone, used to get it on.
La, 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 la.
So I don't get I have all the videos of songs, we made special videos, but I don't have a mix. I don't mix things together because I like in every country to do the show that people want to have. So I always make sure that people tell me the songs they want to have. And then we do the a cappellas with the people. And so it's always fun. It's always a lot of fun.
I can sing with you. We can do something from Soundlovers.
What do you want to do?
I love Living in Your Head and Surrender. Surrender is a good one.
Oh. You can try. You start, and if I understand what you're doing, I'm following.
Living in Your Head. I think it's easier. You can start.
I start. I'm the voice. Is it the ritornello, or should I start with Living in Your Head? Starts with. Sorry.
Look at me, I'm going away. You can have me
flying away, but I know I will leave your head. Every time you will go mad, I'm the voice in your head. Every day I will be there, 'cause I'm living in your head. I couldn't hear very well. Sorry, I'm making a mess.
The delays. But
or maybe this is just a promo. We can try again.
Yes, we can try live in Brazil. Who knows?
Oh, that would be really nice.
Acoustic version. But you can sing Surrender a little bit.
Yeah.
Used to be surrender. I used to be a lonely soul. I used to ask the sender, ask him if my love is gone. Used to get it on.
La 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 la.
And I will go on.
La 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 la.
Used to get it on.
La 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 la.
And I will go on.
La 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 la.
It's very high, eh?
It's so high.
It's high.
Thank you for having me, Nathalie. Thank you for
that. It's a pleasure, Erik.
Yes.
It's a pleasure.
Brazil is waiting for you when this moment passed by. We can have contact. Who knows, someday you came to Brazil and sing for us.
We'll have to wait a few more months to see what's happening, and that maybe things can turn back to normal, because it's been a really weird timing, and a bad time for a lot of people. It was really difficult, I think, for a lot of people. Like me and my partner, we're not gaining any money anymore. And to be honest, the Italian government did not help very much. So I think a lot of people like us were a bit in difficulty. Let's hope that people can keep their head up, and that they stay safe in Brazil. I really hope that we all get out of this in a better way, in a positive way, let's say. And then let's hope that next year I can be with you. I hope so. I love you.
See you.
Thank you, Erik.
Thank you.
E quero agradecer novamente a Lisandra da Liz English, que ajudou na legenda. E caso você está procurando aí aulas particulares de inglês, via Skype para todo o Brasil com um preço especial, já encontrou. Eu vou deixar na descrição o contato da